Feeder fishing's really kicked off in the UK over the last few years, particularly distance fishing on big open waters like Boddington Reservoir behind me. Still early in the spring, it's a little bit cold, the fish are just starting to feed, so I'm just going to show you a few tips on how to get more from your feeder fishing this spring. The first thing you've got to get right with your distance feeder fishing is having the right tools for the job. With that I mean your rods, your reels and the line setup that you're going to be using. As you can see, Boddington is a big venue, very windy, it can tow hard, so you need a rod with a range of tips in it that can cope with this, and also the casting weights that you're going to need to hit this distance. The rod I'm using today is a 12-9 dual distance feeder, and I've teamed that up with a 5000 Parabolics Black Edition reel. Because we're fishing a long distance, a bigger reel is going to make everything you do a whole lot easier. It's going to balance out the setup, it's going to make winding feeders and fish back a lot easier. To cast a long way with a very heavy mono would be nearly impossible, so I like to load the reel up with a 6-pound Optimum reel line. Onto that I've got a 20-foot 12-pound shock leader. This not only enables you to compress the rod properly with heavy feeders, but it also enables you, when you're catching a lot of big fish, to get their heads up and bundle them straight into the net. The tip I've selected today is the heaviest of the 3 tips that you get with a dual distance feeder rod, and that's the 3-ounce tip. The lake behind us is a big lake and it tows hard, and also you're casting quite heavy weights a long way. We're not fishing for small roach and skimmers, so the bites you're going to get are really going to drag it in. Hook length selection couldn't be any simpler when you're fishing on a venue like Boddington. It's well known for great big carp, so using small hooks have no real advantage. So I'm using a size 10 or a size 12 with 8 and 10mm baits, and I've just got that rigged up on 020 Power Optex line just to a hair rig pellet band. I like to use pellet bands, so I can band a boilie or I can band a pellet. It just gives me a lot more options without changing hook lengths around all day long. These type of venues see a lot of carp fishing now, so that means pellets and boilies are going into them all the time. Obviously that makes pellets a great choice for a hook bait, but on venues like this where you might be leaving your feeder in for 20-30 minutes at a time, pellets begin to break down, so you need something a little bit more durable. That's why I like to carry quite a wide variety of different dumbbell wafters and boilies. It's just worth bearing in mind that obviously it's still early in the year, so the water's still fairly clear, so having something that the fish can see and home in on a small patch of bait that you've got out in this great big lake is going to get you a bite a lot quicker. When you're fishing at long range with longer rods, the fish are going to naturally surface a lot further out than they do on shorter rods. So a 4-metre landing net handle means that you can get out to them and land them as soon as they pop up. So when we arrived at this peg this morning, we saw a few fish boshing out about 60 metres, so immediately that gave me a starting point, and I caught a few fish there to start with. Going on from then, I've had to go a little bit further, taking 5 or 10 metres off my clip and just keep following the fish out, and by doing that we've managed to put quite a few in the net.